Hello and welcome to SundogsTV. I'm your host and radio voice of the Arizona Sundogs, Scott Studdert. Now my normal co-host Shane Farrell couldn't join us today, but he will be back with us for next episode of SundogsTV. Now we want to start this to talk about the beginning month of December. 11 games through December 22nd, the Arizona Sundogs have gone 5-4-2 to really continue their winning ways at the end of November and start gaining ground in the Barrier Conference and in all of the CHL. The main part of that 5-4-2 record we want to talk about is the beginning of December, when the Arizona Sundogs went on a 2-week road trip in Texas versus teams like Rio Grande Valley, Laredo, and Odessa, and the Sundogs ended up going 4-1-1 on that road trip. A very, very, very successful Texas swing for the Arizona Sundogs. Really, when you go on long road trips, as a player, you get mentally and physically drained. So for Arizona to continue their winning ways in all 6 of those games, going 4-1-1, and really they had a chance to win every single one of those games. Very good for the Arizona Sundogs. At the beginning of the month, now most recently, the Sundogs have played 4 versus Rapid City and 1 versus Colorado. Rapid City obviously being the defending President Cup champions, and Colorado, which we talked about last episode, they're a very, very good team year in and year out in the CHL. Arizona took a little bit of a slide, going 1-3-1 in those 5 contests versus those 2 teams. But in every one of those games, they had a chance to win, except for one game versus the Rapid City Rush when they took the 8-2 loss. Every other game, the Arizona Sundogs had a chance to get the W, or at least push it to overtime, which they were able to do once versus the Rush in Rapid City. Now that last game versus Colorado, you'd like to get 2 points every single contest as a team. But really, watching that game versus the Colorado Eagles was fun for me to watch, fun for me to call, because after one period, the Arizona Sundogs were down 5-1. Really, any other club or any club has the potential to just sit back, take the big time defeat, and go on to their next game. But the Sundogs decided to actually continue the next 40 minutes and try to get the victory, and they came very, very close to getting that victory. They took the loss 7-6 versus Colorado, but they were able to win the second and third periods, 3-1 in the second, 2-1 in the third, and that's really what you want to try to do. They started out with a blowout in the first 20 minutes. Then in the second and third, the next 40, they played one of their best games that I've seen them play all season long. Yes, they did take the defeat, but they took a moral victory out of that loss versus the Colorado Eagles. Again, the last game before Christmas break for the Sundogs. They really could have just let that one go and not really, just say, okay, we'll get back right when we get back after Christmas. It was very, very awesome seeing that team come back in the second and third periods and almost cut out that victory. Now, during the last show, we talked about the Barrier Conference and how the Sundogs needed to start playing a little bit better versus their division opponents. And they have been doing that in this early month of December, going 4-1-1 versus the division, taking it up to a 5-6-1 record versus their conference opponents. And that's really what you need to do if you're going to make the playoffs, because the Sundogs have not made it the past 2 seasons. What they really need to do is start getting wins versus their division opponents. And they're going to have another chance to gain ground in the Barrier Conference at the end of December, beginning of January, playing 6 games versus Laredo, also against Rio Grande Valley. It's going to be key for Arizona to start winning games in their conference like they have been early in this month of December to try to gain ground, get in the Barrier Conference really tight from the 3rd spot to the 9th spot. 31 points for the 3rd spot, 24 points for the 9th spot. From anywhere, any game in and game out, you can really move up or move down in the Barrier Conference. It's going to be a big challenge for the Sundogs to continue their winning versus their conference opponents if they want to continue their climb in the CHL. Now, one player that the Arizona Sundogs have gotten a lot of help from recently, in the first 11 December contests, Joey Sides has had 9 goals, 9 assists for 18 points in the first 11 games in December, bringing his total to 25 points on the season, now tied with Kyle Hood for second on the team in points, only 2 points behind Luke Erickson. It's really, really nice to see multiple players for the Sundogs starting to produce, and that is why Joey Sides was actually in AHL camp before the season started. And that's one key for this team that we need to start winning, is multiple lines producing. Joey Sides starting to do that. Also, the top line for the Sundogs combined with Keith, Erickson, Kalanos, 59 points. The second line, Visser, Sides, along with Kyle Hood, having 63 points. And then that third line combined with Williams, Irving, Smith, and Salon having 38 points. So all three lines are producing for the Arizona Sundogs. Now coming up in January, that is when the Sundogs start getting back and playing at home. 10 of their 13 contests in January are at Tim's Toyota Center, and we need to start getting some victories at home. Really, the first 2 months of the season have been all on the road, going 8-6-4 on the road. Now we need to come home and continue our road success at home, and that's going to be big for the Sundogs, again, to continue to climb in the CHL. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more Arizona Sundogs TV